All right. All right, guys. It's a little late. I don't even know what time it is. It's like 4:30, 4:30. I've been hustling. I'm trying to get this thing at least. I'm trying to get most of it buffed out today. I'm a little behind schedule, just with phone calls and just with things taking a little longer than I expected as far as the washing process. Had some tar and had some other stuff on it I had to get off first. It was a little finicky getting it off. And then that other side, I think the bed was resprayed and they painted over the PPF. It's kind of a sketchy area. But anyway, I'm gonna start buffing this door. As you can see, I already kind of buffed the top area, but we're gonna buff these two bottoms and see kind of what we can get out with just like a light one step or a light machine compound. What I'm gonna be using. Let me flip the camera around. I'm gonna be using the Rupes. I was using the yellow pad earlier, but I ran out of brand new yellow pads. These blue from Buff and Shine, they're relatively similar, but this is a 21 Rupes with a 15 millimeter head. And then for compound, I'm using the Manzurna 2400. Just got a little more bite than the 2500. But yeah, let's just get started. We'll do this one area here. These moldings, these lower moldings here, they're shot. The moldings are starting to peel off. They're kind of, I'll polish them and I'll put a coating on them, which will help. They'll look a little bit better, but they actually just need pulled off, resprayed, and then double-sided taped. We're not doing that today, though. I should, but we're not going to. All right. Let me try moving the camera. Let me see this ultra wide. Oh, wrong camera. All right, let's just go with that. Let's roll with that. That'll be good. This is a brand new pad. I haven't used it yet. Got stuff flying everywhere. Brand new pad, so I'll put a little more on it than normal. Start it out low, that way we're not slinging stuff everywhere. I'll set it on like 1, and then I'll slowly work it up to 3. Usually I don't need to go much over 3 for something like this. We'll just do this area. I'll probably do like half this area. I might split it that way. I might split it that way. And then we'll wipe it off and kind of see what we're doing. I'm hitting it pretty light, so I'm not getting too aggressive. I'm trying to do this whole truck and have it compounded out today. If I was looking for more perfection, I would spend double or triple the amount of time on it. But yeah, let's just get started. Number 1 here. Get it spread out. We'll just do this little area. We'll slowly work the machine up. And I'll get it up to around 3. Kind of want to be careful on these edges. All right, it's pretty good there. Start with 1 again. Not quite as much product because our pad's primed up a little bit better. And now I'll overlap it a bit when I buff this. I already buffed this side with the little pad, the little 3-incher. at kind of a weird angle. I'm gonna hit once I get the 3-incher back out. I'll probably compound these moldings with the 3-incher. That way I can get in this groove a little bit better. And then when I use the 3-incher, I'll get closer to this molding. I'll do this edge. The little one seems to get them edges a little bit better, a little bit easier to maneuver. But let's wipe that off, check it out, see what it looks like. See the towel. See what this looks like. Hopefully this chat's working okay. All right, let's wipe this off, check it out. Now it's definitely not gonna remove every scratch. Hitting it that quick, and only once. But for this truck, yeah, it'll be night and day difference when the customer picks up. Just hitting it once like that make a huge difference for this customer. And it really, really don't need to hit it too much harder because it's gonna get scratched up again anyway. Here, let me pull you guys out. We'll just check it out real quick. All right. Now you kind of see. You get in real close, you get down real low here. Kind of hard to see. There's still light scratches in it here and there. But compared to this side, maybe let me get my other flashlight here. All right, this will work a little bit better. So this side's pretty jacked up. Looks worse in person, I think. These moldings are really ugly. We'll come over to this side. You can see here, you can still see some light scratches, some deeper scratches. I could chase them out. I could get a lot of them out if I hit it a couple more times, or if I just went more aggressive with the rotary. I could get them. A lot of them would come out, but I don't have the budgeted time for this, and it's not really necessary. We're going to try to leave as much clear coat as we can on this thing, but just that difference there, just that difference, the customer will be more than happy with. All right, get out the 3-incher. Try to do some of this tighter work here. I'm using the same pad on the 3-inch machine. Same compound. For some reason, I'm using all, for these 3-inch pads, I'm using small used pads. All my pads are used. I've been using up. They tend to, I don't know, I think I'm throwing too much heat to them today. I think they're getting messed up quicker. All right, we'll just polish this out, compound this out a little bit, see if we can bring some of that back. I don't know. This clear coat's kind of shot. I don't even think there is clear coat on them. I think it's just like a single stage paint. There's no serious technique for buffing these moldings. Just light pressure, enough pressure to keep the machine on there, but not too much to where the machine stops working. Make sure the pad continues to spin and rotate, and just see if it's working. You'll see pretty quick if it's doing anything. These typically don't hold up that well with just a standard wax. Usually if you put a coating on these moldings after you buff them, they'll hold up a lot better, but it's still not. It's still eventually going to go back to faded. Yeah, I'll do a little bit of this one neck. This driver door one's really bad. I mean, that looks a lot better than it did. I'm going to do a little bit of this one, and we'll see what the compound does to this. It's definitely worth buffing. It's just how long is it going to last is the question. Probably different things you could do to make these things last. Probably buff it out, and then maybe wrap it with, take it off, put new adhesive on, wrap it in paint protection film, like some kind of UV protectant, PPF. You probably could restore these without even painting them. Here, I'll bring you guys in. Let me change my camera and see here. It's definitely looking better. It's definitely not perfect, but it's really white. Like, it's really white at the top there. You can kind of see where I kind of stopped is like right there. Yeah, it'll be better. He'll be happy. This bedside over here. I'll show you guys this bedside. I didn't buff this side yet. You can see how it's like got all these sanding marks. Like someone wet sanded it, but they didn't buff it. It's like sanded but not buffed. I don't know what the purpose of that was. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like someone sanded it, and then this PPF. You guys probably can't see it here, but it has PPF there, and it's clear. It's like clear coated over. I don't see that too much where the body shop's clear coat over it. But it was definitely. I'm pretty sure it was resprayed. You can see here. It's all sanded here. All the wet sand. Sanding marks. I don't know. It's not real aggressive. Probably like, it might be 1,500, 2,000 grit maybe. It's all right. We'll be able to fix that. I think we'll probably even be able to get them sanding marks out, even with just the DA. I don't think we'll have to hit it with a rotary. I don't think. I I think with what we're doing here will be enough to get that out. All right, just want to do this bottom of the molding, and then I'll do a little more fine. We'll do the bottom of the molding here with the small one. I might do around the handle with the small one because it's easier, just more control. At the 21 millimeter, the orbit or the way it oscillates and moves back and forth, I guess is 21 millimeter. So it really throws itself around. So it's a little harder to control around tight areas, like around like in between your bed, like this tight groove here. Sometimes if you're using a bigger machine, especially like a 21 or a longer throw machine, sometimes you can have it nick this edge. So you got to be careful that the machine doesn't nick your edges like this. So usually I use just a 3 inch, and then I'll tape it still, and then I can just let the machine kind of ride on the edge without worrying about scratching it. But you want to be as careful as you can, even if the paint's not that nice. All right, let's get the bottom of this molding. Stop yakking. It's not bad. I'll do the top of this molding. I want to finish this molding. See, this pad's already getting soft. And maybe let's try to finish this molding out. I'm running around number 4. I'll whiz over these again with the bigger buffer. Um, yeah, I'll whiz over them again. I'll hit them twice. I'll hit them with the small one, then the big one. Yeah, this pad's dying out. I'm gonna get a new pad. These used ones, I've already used them pretty hard. This one's used. It doesn't look too bad. Sometimes I use this 3-inch. Why? A lot of the times I use this 3-inch machine more than what it's meant to do. That's probably my number one tool that I use to buff stuff is this 3-inch, especially on bumpers, pillars. I use this a lot, just if not more than the bigger buffers. I'm not getting out all the little dentistry tools to get in between these emblems. We'll get around them the best we can with what we got here. Really to do this job like right, like no budget would be new moldings, take all the emblems off. Maybe. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Maybe get out the smaller tools that I have that are like dentistry tools to get in, like the little pads to get it down in these, all the little grooves here to work all that out. But you could, like, I don't know. If this were my truck, I'd probably just take the badges off. And if it was messed up underneath, then I maybe get new badges. If not, just leave them off. But the best way to polish a dark colored truck is just take the badges off. And if they still want badges, just order new badges and just replace their badges with new ones. That way it's clean. There's no issues. I almost wonder if these badges aren't applied by hand at the factory, especially on these new trucks. Like I'll take badges off to apply, like if we do lower rocker paint protection film, like I'll cover the whole lower half PPF, take off the badges and then reapply the badges, put new tape on them or else order new badges and reapply the badges on top of the PPF. They're never lined up from factory. So like when you do the paint protection film and you order the pre-cuts, they usually don't even include the emblem cutout on a lot of these trucks because it's not the same on each side. They're off. They're always in a little different position. So I think they're almost applied by hand or something. I noticed it mostly on like the new Ford truck. All right, that's good. Let's get out the big one. The new Ford trucks, I do more PPF on them on the lower doors to prevent rock chips and stuff. But yeah, take off the badges, apply the PPF, and then put the badges on top of the PPF. Sounds a little sketchy, but it works really well. Just if you ever pull off your PPF, your badges are going to come off too, but it's not the end of the world on a pickup truck. This blue paint is pretty nice. Like, it's pretty nice to buff. This GM, I don't know what year this thing is. I guess it could be as old as I guess 2007-ish. Could be that old. I don't think it's that old. It's probably like a 2012 or something. Here, let's just take a look. Oh, truck's locked. Can't look. Now you could, if you have time, wipe it real quick and then hit it another time. It make a little bit of a difference, but one single step on this is better than I expected. Alright, that's good. Gotta kind of ignore some of the scratches. I want to hit them again, but I just gotta look away. Usually if I'm like shooting for like a real nice paint correction where they're getting like specialty paint correction, I'll put a light like right here. And as I'm buffing this area, I got like where the camera is right now, I'll have a light just kind of bouncing up, and then I can stay at this angle. I don't need to bend down. I don't need to go like this. I can look down. I never really have to bend over. And then doing like these lower rockers, I'll put the light like basically on the floor and then bounce the light up into the panel, and then I'm looking into that direct light. This is just a single step. I got lights all over the place. I'm just polishing it out, kind of trying to hit it all equally. I'm not quite pinpointing each individual scratch and chasing each individual scratch. But if I was, my lighting would be a lot better, more direct versus all this lighting around me is have more direct light. One light here on the floor bouncing up to here, or the light right where you guys are reflecting back, and then I can see. Um, this lighting everywhere isn't necessarily good for paint correction. It's okay for detailing and one steps like this, but for like pinpointing scratches and chasing stuff, this isn't necessarily how you would do it for that. All right, I don't think I did this. I need to touch up this area up here, I think. Want to be kind of careful because it has this vinyl pinstripe. Not going to get too crazy. Usually you can lightly buff over vinyl pinstripes. Usually you're all right. Once you start getting to the edges of the end, you got to be careful because it could start to lift up. But usually you're all right. Just you want to be careful. All right, let's check the chat here. All right, let's do these bottoms here. Trying to adjust the camera. All right, that's good. Maybe I'm not going to get out the scan grip because my battery dies in it, so I got to keep it plugged in, which it's kind of a pain. It's a cordless scan grip light, my big one, but I got to keep it plugged in because it doesn't charge up anymore. It's so old. But I'll kind of show you. Like usually I'll put my scan grip like right here, and then I could look down and see all the fine scratches over into there. Kind of see here. Like this would be my view. That's kind of like my buffing view. I can look down. It's not quite the same angle, but look down at that light, and then I can see where I'm working. If that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense or not. Usually you don't want direct lighting. Usually you want the lighting at an angle or in the opposite direction. kind of like a triangle, like light, paint, U, light, kind of like a triangle pyramid type shape. Usually, even with the hood and like buffing hoods and stuff, usually I don't work in like direct lighting. So I usually don't have like sometimes, I guess sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm in there with like a headlight on and you're looking at the paint, but usually it's off to a tilt at least a little bit. Even when I show customers, it's kind of hard to show them all the scratches because you're trying to see how they're seeing it. All right. That's coming out fairly nice. Them light ones. Where the problem areas with like this kind of truck, where you're gonna have problems is maybe like door edges. If you run your buffer too close to the edge, too long, you could start taking off paint on the edges. You want to be careful not to let your pad rub up against these plastic moldings too much. You could start to irritate the paint there, and then, like I pointed to you earlier, these things. I've chipped these already just by accident with the machine hitting this, so I always make sure to cover it up with tape, even if I'm using a small buffer, just in case. But this one already has chips on it already, but I'm always still cover it up. So I would say problem areas as far as buffing these areas are door edges, moldings, and then in between the bed. Handles and stuff usually are fine around all this stuff on this specific truck. I usually don't see much other areas for safety concerns. All the plastics, all the window trims, all just black. It's not like clear coated. Sometimes you get into like clear coated trim to where when you tape it, you got to be careful what tape you use because you might pull off the clear coat on the trim. I've done that already, pulling off clear coat on trim, or even just tape, just general automotive masking tape. Some paints, like my Honda, you put it on there, the clear coat just comes off with it. It's not even like high tack tape. All right, I want to rebuff this molding a little bit here. You can't really come in this, like, you might not be able to see it in the camera, but these moldings have a groove in them. With these buffers, especially the big one, you can't just come in with the DAs. I don't have a spacer, I don't think, in this. Maybe if I had a spacer, it might not be quite as drastic. But I can't just come in and hit it like this and buff that groove, or else it'll stop the machine from spinning. So I kind of have to hit it at a weird angle sometimes. Maybe do half the groove, then come up and put my machine up here, do half the groove, come down here and do half the groove, and kind of overlap the middle. It all depends. You just kind of got to play around with it, see where the machine likes and where the machine doesn't like. That's why I usually like using the 3 inch, because I don't have any problem whizzing over this with the 3 inch. It's just the 3 inch doesn't have as much bite to it, so you can't do quite as much work with the little guy. But yeah, I was able to keep it rotating in there without speeding up the machine or doing any crazy angles with it. Well, I guess one downside of the DAs. This is I have a forced rotation Rupes, and it wouldn't stop in there. It's forced rotated. It doesn't stop spinning. I just don't really like the feel. I don't like the feel of the forced rotation. I've used it quite a bit. I only use it every once in a while. It's nice to have a stool that moves. That way you can kind of roll versus move your arms. You can just roll your chair. Except I keep hitting a rock or something. My chair keeps getting stuck. Just keep your buffer in the same location and move your leg. Still haven't figured out the back relief. On the floor over there on the Swiss tracks, this rolls a little nicer. I'm sitting right on a groove, so my chair gets caught on it. But usually I'll move my chair, my legs, more than I lose my arms. Maybe because I don't work out anymore, so it's my arms are kind of shot and weak. I can just roll around on the chair. All right, let's do the other half of this lower door. That's good. I think that's good enough. Kind of got to find a stopping point, especially with this thing. Oh, my back. Phew. Can't work in that position too long. Usually, if I'm doing lowers, if I'm planning on working for a while, I'll switch up my body position. I'll sit down on the Swiss tracks, work in that position, work straight on, work at an angle, keep moving around versus staying in one position all day. If I spend a whole day like this in this position with pressure and using my arms and legs, yeah, it's no good. My back will be jacked up for at least a few days. Usually, it's a gradual ache that then turns into something else, and then it's like 2 weeks later you can't move. This tape isn't the best. I get it off Amazon. I don't think I'm gonna buy it again. Sometimes it does leave it a little adhesive. I can't wipe near it because if I start wiping near it, sometimes I grab adhesive and then drag it onto the paint, which I don't like that. Maybe it's just a thing with cheap tape. And it's not even like it's that cheap. It was still relatively expensive. All right, let's get this wiped off. Yeah. It's got to be getting close to 5 o'clock. What time is it? Oh, it is after 5. Oh, man. Shoo. I got to wipe this all again down tomorrow. It's pretty dusty. I'll wipe it all. I'll blow it off tomorrow, and then I'll wipe it all down with a prep solvent, and then apply the coating tomorrow. I'll probably go live. Well, it all depends. If I come in here at like 5 o'clock, I'm not going to go live. We'll see. I applied the same coating I'm going to apply to this. I applied to that red van we just did last week or the week before. Just a 1-year coating, nothing crazy. But I'll re-wipe everything tomorrow. So I'm not too worried if I miss a couple spots. It's pretty good. It's nice just having like an extended cab. It's a little nicer. It's just a little smaller of a truck. Just a little bit. And I can reach the whole hood for the most part without using a ladder. It's nice. Get used to buffing these huge trucks. Up and down the ladder, up and down the ladder. Alright, let's check this out. It's probably going to be kind of streaky. Just a quick wipe. It's so dusty. Alright, let's see how this looks. Alright. Should be a lot better. Customer will be happy with that. If you go back to this morning's video, kind of see what it looked like before when I walked in here. It was pretty jacked up. So I got this whole side's done. Did the front bumper, the hood. Did this fender. These 2 doors are done. I just didn't do this bed yet. You can see the difference here in the bed and that. Yeah, so I still got to do this bedside, and then tailgate and the roof. So I'm just gonna try to hammer that out tonight. I'm not gonna live stream all that. I'm just gonna kind of do the same stuff I did there. I will use the 3-inch. You won't see it on video, but I use the 3-inch like all around here. I'll use the little buffer down along there. I'll use the 3-inch back here. Usually I use a 3-inch like around this handle. I'll do like 3-inch around here. Any of the fine little areas. Sometimes I'll whiz this area with a 3-incher. I'll still compound the headlights and taillights because these were kind of shot. And then everything else, I'll just use the bigger one. I'll come back through and whiz all this with the 21 mil. But I'm losing my breath. Let's be out of shape. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to keep buffing here, try to get this thing done tonight as far as compounding. And then maybe I'll shoot a video tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to shoot out make a video on how to apply that coating with the better camera. If I'm going to come in here super early, do like a short coating video with the better camera, and then I'll just upload it. But either way, I'll be live tomorrow to read the book of John. I forget what chapter, 9 or 10. So I'll get on there probably around 9 or 10, and we'll do that tomorrow morning, and then we'll see where we end up tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Let me make sure there's no comments here. I'm back to using this app. I don't see any comments. So anyway, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.